Dearest Mother, I came to this rock to find you. But I only find myself surrounded by schemers. The President, the soldier, the Duchess, and the Cardinal, and those who invited us here. But I won't be a pawn in their games. What brought you here? What have you left for me to find? Are you even still alive?
Why do you think she wanted to leave?
Everything is possible if you make the right choices.
It will take all my skill and my silver tongue to solve this mystery. Before it's too late.
And welcome back everybody to the console. So let's go back to this investigation. So let's remind ourselves. What did we found? What did we find? We find that part of red room, no, gray room, which seems to belong to Mother's room, not to Emily's, the Duchess. We found a knife, too tiny for a man's hand. What did we find too? I don't remember exactly. What's in there? Balcony, she's room. That's my room. Mom's room. Okay, so what do we get to do? Next time I will use that one. Yep, best. So let me see. Okay, for this is fine. So we asked. Wait. We asked. Oh, that's that guy also. We had to interview. So she's dead. That's the one who sought us identification. His mother. We can't see the twin sister. This guy. We need to interview this guy. This guy also already down. We need to interview home too. We interviewed Emily. That's me. Piaggi we can't. This guy we already did. Washington we already did. And the service. So there's Home and Von Vollmer. Okay, so where are they? Bonaparte is born. Washington. Okay. So we need to find what's this place? Piaggi, right? Yep. Piaggi. So sounds pretty bad. Come on. Okay. So this interview, I think it's Von Vollmer, because I remember seeing that guy hanging around Adam's. There he is. Okay. Hey, sir. I need to interview you about this poor girl's death.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Vollmer, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Liar. intelligence staff is very cruel. Yeah,
I have thought this is not really the shortest way to get to your suite.
Yes, I wasn't really looking where I was going.
Yeah,
I
sure.
shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
No? I'm going to follow you. What was it doing there? What the heck was it doing there? So what is wrong? I'm gonna interview you. You won't escape me. You won't escape from me. Sorry, my English is pretty bad sometimes. I forgot I'm a French guy.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Fine. I'm here. I'm gonna interview you. I must investigate. Okay, so. Okay. Oh, great. I needed that.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever-obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth, but that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Yeah.
A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol.
Zinc.
Golden elixir.
Needed that. Ah.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code.
Ah!
A word close to the owner's heart.
Zinc. Say zinc. No. This one. Great. Serious notes. Interesting. Oh, wait. Collecting coins, but I wanna. What's for?
The alchemist is a young man.
So this guy is not a chemist. Wait. Yes, I see something.
Amber crystals.
Cool. Something there. Oh. Gotcha. Okay, so. This way. Yeah. Thanks.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur?
No!
Lord
Fuck.
Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Oh, like cheers.
Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Let's see.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Okay.
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
Okay.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what? Yes. I loved her, like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Okay.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Not enough. The version's like this, too bad.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Too bad I have the version locked.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Okay, now we need home, and that'd be enough. I really think it's come over now. If the guy loved her, oh no, I can't. Let's get on the home, right? And anyway, it is not covered because, well, he was with Mortimer. So the corporate system over, I guess. I don't see anything else. I mean, Washington was with Emily as both their corporate. Jack Peru, that's too obvious. That's too obvious. I can't be him. Just can't. But let's try to one. Who's left? Okay, right there. Pagey, can't be Pagey.
Manuel Godoy.
What's this Godoy? Who's this Godoy? I guess I have to. Because very bad one. Obviously, said something about this guy. Maybe I need to find out. Okay, go to my place. Cheers. And I can't go to Piaget's place. I guess. Can't. I think I looked after everything. Nothing there. There's no other. I don't see anything else. I don't. Missions together. Let's try to remember. Terrorists, obvious. So we can't be here. Homeless performance. Lasers. Can't be here. I'm trying. I like to go downstairs, you know. To go back and see what. Can't do it impossible to answer religious man. So we can't. Just can't. Am I forgetting it was someone? Let's see. Where do I have to go? Go downstairs. Jeez. What the heck? Sorry. I don't see. Okay. Okay, what's going on? Thank you. What's going on? Okay. I don't get it. I can't understand. Oh, wait. Maybe there was something in Jack Sparrow. Jack Sparrow. Please. A chest. I'm talking about chest. Because I still have the key. See?
Dear Monsieur Peru,
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Okay.
a Greek drachma, one of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran.
Looking for chest. I already get this. The chest, right? Oh no, something there. I think I came back. It's not what I was looking for. Whatever. Maybe we should in this place. There's a chest or something like that. Could be useful. Could be useful. What about you? Just in case. Just in case, just in case. Is there a chest there? Can't be that. What about that? It's not. Can't be. Okay. Come on. Okay. I'm going to end this place. This one. I already interviewed her, I know, but I just want to see for the chest. Just a chest here. There's a bridle. There's the bronze. Shoes.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago.
What? Communication functions spaces. Chest. Keys, chest. Okay, let's
The
try.
Devil's Thorn.
Ah!
Used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Seriously? That's not what I wanted. Fuck it. Well. So I wanted that. So where do I have to go? Let's go for classroom, boardroom. That place. Okay. So, what there? This is the way. Okay. Okay. Good, good. So let's try. If the culprit is the mother, I don't see anyone else. I really don't. Let's take a look. No. So, she's dead? It can't because he's the investigator. The mother's missing, but she's the one with the most clues going against her. I couldn't see Emma, and I have to get the secret that Emily has a sister, a twin sister. Home again because he was with Mortimer. Peru is too obvious, so it can't be him. Homer he must love. Definitely she was with Washington, so it can be. That's me. Piaggi is a holy man, so he can't, just can't. And Napoleon was trying to Bonaparte was trying to warn her, so that is only the mother. That is cannot be her. I haven't seen anyone else. Maybe the twin sister. Why?
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
But it's not mysterious. It's not the comments. Don't be dangerous. Ah! That was form again. Can I have something better? Something.
This is Cersei.
I need some. Ah. There's some extra skill. So good. It's true. Something. There, something.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Let's see. C A Z. It's a horse. I'll find something. Horse. Find something there. Oops. I picked up a bird. Something like a bird. Hey buddy, you nothing for me? So let's see.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Nothing about that. What about Zeus? Just thinking about that because it's Zeus statue.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Ah! Good call, good call. So what does it say? not along the game. Stop running. Come on. Come on. Okay.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right.
Yes.
It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She's a missing.
She isn't missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
I'm not sure if I can trust that friend.
I can't remember exactly. Something or
Von
other.
Volner?
No, not your friend, Mr. Von Volner.
There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Wow.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Mother.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself.
What?
She resurfaced to attack Emma,
Oh.
Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then,
What?
before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that? Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
I should go.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Where?
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Right. Is that the tower's room? Tower? Tower room? Towers? Didn't see. Okay, that's the place.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
What?
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
That's Napoleon.
Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Oh, finally. Chat. Good. Okay. So it's right. No.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Okay, let's see.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best-known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
I see. So there's something about books, right? Must be. Ah! Stop with that! Stop. Stop with that. Jeez.
What is this disc?
Tickets.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
What can I do? I'll try to open it.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works.
Oh! Great.
It's open.
Cool. Good.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Ah! Enough. Jeez.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. The New Testament.
Wow. Oh! So much.
A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Okay.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed.
Wow.
Pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
Okay. Gospel like apostle. Act of the apostle of yes. Ah! Too much! Okay, it's something I must read. Special piece.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini.
Okay.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Nope. Okay.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Rini.
So many. It's too much.
A fragment of amber.
Okay, good thing. Royal jelly. Good.
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. St. Paul
I'm
is
just-
shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
You're saying that.
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Let's see. There's something about that. So... goes by act of the apostle.
Then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God."
No. Who's this guy?
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini.
Paul. Paul. Ah! It's not even. Is it that? Maybe that?
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully
Done.
folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the 2 groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative, awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Youngest apostle. Who's the youngest?
several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Who's the youngest apostle?
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, "Count in the dust." All right, let's do it.
Count in the dust. Okay.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
Okay. 8.
No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Okay. Hebrew 8.
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer.
Okay.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written
Right.
behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Jesus. It's harsh. It is damn harsh. It's John. There's no 8. There's no 8. Maybe that one?
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here.
Good.
A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare?
Oh, there's a painting of the nightmare, right?
Must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Yeah, it's not your...
Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
Painting. And it's an object.
Probably has to do with an object or something. Granting that this is the case, where might it be found?
Painting. Second floor. Mortimer study.
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
painting that was behind Mortimer's study. Well, let's see if Mortimer has anything to hide behind his painting. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Yeah. Better go with them. Conversation to move around That's what I did, right? No? I thought that's what I did. Okay. Okay, unlocked. So, it's about that. Science, linguistic, erudition. Okay. Okay. Tragical fate. That good. Okay, this one. And which one? Oh, 2 more. Good. That's awesome. Right. What can I do also? I need everything. Maybe logic. If I can find something for logic. There's nothing but logic. Occultism, linguistic, politics, psychology, diversion, etiquette. Many things, many things. Occultism, maybe. Occultism, and let's see. Psychology, maybe. Question? So we have this, so I use that. That and that. Okay, good. Good.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Okay. Oh, that's all I have back. Jeez, it's not a lot. Only 4. Okay, so Chris. Okay. Okay, that's good. Nice. Okay. Okay.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Yeah, but
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
yeah. Thanks. What's that? Ah, that was foreign. I don't need it. I need royal jelly. Does that mean items back? I'll find some more. That's good. That's a good thing. Wait. Can't go in that room now. I'm not sure about the culprit actually. Oh, right. I wanted to see also trait. Okay, that's the VDOC. And for all the cruisers, for all the trains, I found everything. Wow. Legend. Oversight and Bible. Investigation. I don't know. That was new. So it's not there. So, one. Yeah, I can't go. Okay, fine. So let's go. Small salon. There's no choice. So she was supposed to die. I can't say. I'm not damn sure that the mother actually had all the clues. All the clues that's there. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. Actually. I'm sorry, I'm lost. Again. I think it's there. So why can't I go? Please! Let me go. Fine. Finally.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
No.
If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself.
Yep.
They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me.
Should I speak to her about my vision?
No.
If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
No, better keep quiet.
I better keep that to myself for the time being.
Yeah.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Cautious. Let's be cautious. Better be very careful.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
That's why.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds.
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up
Oh.
such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined. What? The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
As if...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360.
Wow,
You
that's fair.
beheaded a king for one vote! Is that your democracy?
Yep.
What an obnoxious act.
That's how
Until
democracy
this,
works, after all.
anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Nope.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a
In the
moment.
name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Nope.
Gentlemen,
Calm down.
Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Tension, tension.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Oh,
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone.
yeah.
Let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Okay.
To hear you speak, you seem to know my mother well.
Not really. We met for the first time on this very spot, some weeks back. We had a very pleasant discussion. She's an exceptionally learned lady, with a good head for business, and no need for me to tell you that.
I agree.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Say it.
The cat's out of the bag now. More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book, which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
He's obsessed.
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush. Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up. Well, I'll take a closer look, but I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchet in Paris.
Oh.
Do you know him?
Fuck.
Indeed. One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once. Precisely over the case that concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another dishonest person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Wollner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Wollner. You're the one who von Burchard was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
King of Prussia?
Your dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away. That stupid, pretentious puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do not wish to be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
You better go and check out the painting in Lord Mortimer's study.
Yeah, but... Sure.
A ruble.
Ah, that was jelly. Too bad for me. Foundation was a success. Wasn't bad. Okay, can't do that. Let's put a pot there.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
I saw that.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on his chest.
Oh, I have the key. Great. What's up,
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Yes. So comfortable is right there. Damn it, damn it.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Yes.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
And what's the reputation?
Meaning...
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Right.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Something else I could ask. So.
I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
You'll be able to check if the hearsay is true over these next few days.
I sincerely doubt that. The context does not allow me to give him my trust.
I understand your point of view.
Okay, that's what I wanted to do.
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave.
Sure.
Let me know if you find her.
Sure.
À plus tard, monsieur.
Okay. So, I think we'll stop there and look for, well, the nightmare painting. So, next time I have to go to Mortimer's office. Right first. What about convincing?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Get my house.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir. And I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
No. Water.
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Wait, it's a case of emergency. I can't do nothing. Okay. I can't. I thought I could have some royal jelly. Washington. Was there? Wait, let's go to Washington before we leave. I'm probably good.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
How much?
I wonder what promise Lord Mortimer could have made to make him agree to come here, given the circumstances.
Who knows?
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend.
Okay. So, as I said, should stop. I want to look for something before I go. Some jelly. Some things you could use for environment. Okay, some stuff. Okay, like wire. Okay. This is something useful. Okay, something more, something more, something more.
A swine and a salon. That's an odd choice of decor.
Ah, Louis. Just the man.
Right.
Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Nope. Experience fire. I don't insist.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Good argument.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well, be it Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory, we are never informed about the theme of the conference before it begins.
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Okay. More clues? Where's more clues? What thing? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed Python, and I just wonder what we have to. What? My English is very bad. What would have you done in my place? I mean, talking about the culprit. What do you think it is? What's your opinion? Because I really think it could be the mother, but I'm not sure at all. It could be anyone. It could be also former Mortimer himself, actually. Could be. There's nothing that says no. Nothing that's like, well, there's no way he is,
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading
or
it.
say that. Just because he's the host, it's not a culprit. It could be a culprit himself, because maybe Elizabeth knew something? Maybe there was something like that? Could be. So I would say that no one is not culprit. Unless... what's I talking about? And tiny hand can be also for man. Because some men have tiny hands at all. So who knows? Could be a man with tiny hands. Could be. Because sure, there's the mother's piece of clothes. Sure thing. But what if it was a fake hit? What if? Who knows? Could be anything, could be anyone. Actually, I'm still in doubts. I think I'm in a relationship by saying, well, maybe it's not really a culprit. Maybe it's not even just one person. Maybe it's several persons decided to do that. Could be. There's nothing that says no. There's nothing that says. I'm still wondering. I think we find out later. I think we will find out later. What's that?
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
I have the key, right? And there's a key. I don't have it. I want jelly. Please. Give me some jelly. Gimme. Give me some. I need some. No.
A Byzant from the Byzantine Empire. A coin often used during the St. Louis era.
Jelly. Good. Here. parents. Parents are dead. Oh, I guess it's been a long time now. Okay, let's stop there. Let's really stop. I'm on the first floor, right? Right, I am. So, let's stop there. And we'll continue next time. And go behind the nightmare. Hope you enjoyed. And let's see where the nightmare leads us next time. Bye!